Today I'm going to be taking a look at one of the most hyped niche fragrances over the past year and a half. It's from the house of Initio. It is Oud for Greatness. Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope you're doing really well. Like I said, this one right here was really hyped, and I actually did not know this until recently, but there's actually like a little bit of drama behind this fragrance here. We'll talk about that and more. We'll talk about the fragrance, the presentation, all that good stuff. Let's jump into it. Let's go ahead and check out the presentation first, then we'll get into the ins and outs of the fragrance itself. So the box comes with the slip cover over it. I've already got the slip cover taken off. Sometimes it's a little hard to get that off there. On the front of the slip cover, you've got the name of the house, the name of the fragrance, the size and concentration. This one is a 90 ml bottle size, so a little bit different. Usually you'll see 100 ml, this one is 90. And right here, can we agree, Initio is Illuminati confirmed. I'm not serious, but at the same time, I am serious. On the top, you've got Initio. Once again, you have just a little decoration on the side of the slipcover. On the back, a sticker down at the bottom. And here is the actual box. This one, a lot more simplistic than right here, but still looks really nice. The box has this kind of rubberized feel to it, feels good in the hand. Again, at the top here, you've got Initio, and there's nothing else on the box here. On the bottom, you've got a sticker, has your badge code and your barcode. Badge code is in black ink, so it's gonna be hard to see, but I'll read it for you. 031904. Lifts up like so, and your bottle sits down in here. So there is a little cutout, and this is a nice velvety feel. The bottle sits right in there, like so. And here we've got the bottle, and it looks really nice. Lots of details here in this metallic sticker label that goes around the bottle. Feels good in the hand, like I said before, 90 mils. It's got this nice flat black kind of finish. On the top there, you have Initio Parfums Oud, and then on the bottom, you have a sticker with your badge code, and I'll go ahead and waste the spray for you guys. So here we go. Couple sprays, atomizer is okay. This one I bought from maxaroma.com, $350 for 90 milliliters. That is not cheap. I've got a link in the description to Max Aroma where I picked this one up from. Make sure to check Max Aroma out if you're ever shopping for fragrances. I've worked with them for a really long time. They've got authentic niche, authentic designer fragrances, and they're great people, so make sure to check them out. Okay, let's talk about the sort of drama behind the fragrance that I didn't even really know about until very recently. Some people really don't like this one, but a lot of people really love this one. And it seems like people have kind of dug in their heels and they're on one side or the other, Hatfields and McCoys kind of shooting back and forth at each other. Now, admittedly, I'm a bit late to the party. Lots of people have reviewed this already and talked about this already, but I'll give you some of my thoughts as I go along with regard to how some people view this fragrance. This one opens up with a really solid dose of saffron, along with some nutmeg and lavender. The saffron being the dominant note here, gives you a little bit of sweetness. It smells really nice. It's enticing. The nutmeg gives you this nice warmth and spiciness that works in well with that saffron initially. The lavender here is bright, but the lavender to me is not as prominent as the saffron, so it's playing second fiddle to the saffron. Right away, some people compare this one to Baccarat Rouge 540 from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Of course, that one makes use of saffron as well. So it's really the saffron in this fragrance that I think some people were tying in to Baccarat Rouge 540 and saying that this smells like that. To me, Oud for Greatness is not similar enough to Baccarat Rouge 540 that I would draw comparisons between the two. They just aren't. If you smell them side by side, they're quite different. And that goes for both the Eau de Parfum and the Extrait of Baccarat Rouge 540. To me, it's a little bit like somebody saying, hey man, you don't need to watch Total Recall if you've watched The Terminator, because Arnold Schwarzenegger is in both of those movies. And then you would say, yeah, but they're actually not really the same though. And then they go, yeah, they are, because Arnold Schwarzenegger's in them, and they're also, you know, science fiction, so like they're pretty much the same. That's kind of how it comes across to me when somebody says Baccarat Rouge 540, Oud for Greatness. Yeah, pretty much the same. Yes, they both have saffron. Yes, the saffron might smell a little similar in the way that it's used. No, they're not the same. And that is not meant to dunk on people that have drawn that comparison. It's just, to me, when I smell them side by side, I just have to go, no. So anyway, that first 15 to 20 minutes for me, that's pretty much what it's about. The saffron, the nutmeg, a little bit of bright lavender in there. It's this nice contrast of warmth, spiciness, and freshness in the opening. Then the oud starts to come in. And this is another point of contention. A lot of people say that there is no real oud in Oud for Greatness. A lot of people have posted that online. I am not going to sit here and debate the merits of, yes, there's trace amounts of real oud, or no, there's definitely not real oud, or any of that stuff. And frankly, I'm not enough of an oud expert to tell you anyway. But I can tell you that the way the oud comes across in here is not at all animalic, it's not at all fecal, it's not at all off-putting. It's very much made for mass appeal. It's made to be worn. To me, it's more of a dark, woody, spicy note is how the oud comes across. It's smoky at times as well. And I know that I literally just told you guys that, you know, you can't really take Baccarat Rouge 540 and compare it because of the one note. And now I'm gonna do something similar to that. And I hate myself for it. But the oud in here, to me, comes across like the oud in Tom Ford's Oud Wood. Not the exact same, but close enough that if you're just trying to make a really ultra simple kind of breakdown that people can immediately wrap their head around, you could say the oud in Tom Ford Oud Wood is pretty similar to how the oud in Oud for Greatness comes across. Now don't get that twisted. I did not just say, hey man, Oud for Greatness, yeah, that's a clone of Oud Wood. I did not say that. I'm just saying the oud in here, a little bit similar to the way it comes across there, where it's sort of a dark, at times sweet because of the residual saffron from the opening, spicy, smoky, woody kind of note. And it stays that way pretty much through the dry down. You do get a little bit of earthy patchouli that comes in, lays a nice base for the other notes to kind of play off of, but the patchouli is not overpowering, just like I said, a nice little earthy nuance that comes in. Now, in terms of performance, this one is what people make it out to be. This is a strong fragrance. 12 plus hours, no issues. This thing will last and last and last and last. Projection, also very strong. This fragrance is beast mode, as people like to say. That's what it is. It's a very, very strong performer. And obviously, with that being the case, and with this being an oud fragrance that's very warm and spicy, this is gonna be a fall and winter time fragrance. This is not the type of scent that I would suggest you wear in summer and high heat. I don't think it's a great idea. And for me, it leans more toward nighttime wear than it does daytime. You could pull it off in the day as long as it's cold outside, but for me, this is more of an evening fragrance, which is not really a surprise when you look at the presentation, the note breakdown, and the performance. So for me, overall, I really like it. I think it smells very nice. The performance is great. I understand why a lot of people like it. It's got a lot of mass appeal as well. This is a fragrance that you don't really have to worry whether people are gonna like it or not, unless maybe you go too heavy and then it just becomes a cloying monster, you know, giving people headaches and stuff. And then at that point, it's not really on the fragrance, it's on you. The drawbacks, obviously the price, 350 bucks for 90 mils. That's not cheap. That is going to put this out of reach for a bunch of people. It is a hard sell. It is. The price, pretty high. And then as well, I understand some people are going to find this more similar to fragrances like Baccarat Rouge 540. Like I said, I personally don't, but there are enough people that have said that they absolutely do find that similarity, that some people just are gonna pick it up that way. Their noses, you know, how they perceive the fragrance, they're going to be immediately placed in the mindset of Baccarat Rouge 540. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. People perceive fragrances in different ways. They have different mindsets and different fragrance histories to draw from. So yeah, some people are going to find that similarity. Me personally, I don't, but I know that some people do. And so that is gonna be a potential deterrent for some people. because they're gonna go, why would I buy this? If it gives me a similar feeling or puts me in a similar mindset as a fragrance that I already own. So that's gonna be a deterrent as well. And I would say head to head, I would still rather own Tom Ford Oud Wood personally than Oud for Greatness if I could only keep one. That being said, I don't find this redundant and I don't think this is a bad purchase. I actually think it's really solid. So those are my general thoughts. I understand when something gets hyped, people get really annoyed by that. They're just like, oh my God, another hype train. And they just kind of, you know, automatically start thinking negative thoughts about whatever fragrance is getting hyped. I understand that. But when I smell this, I do really like it. I think it's a really good fragrance, very solid. But you really just kind of have to make that decision for yourself, you know, if that price is worth it, if that potential redundancy, if you pick it up that way and interpret it that way, is worth the risk. I would think for this price, you should definitely sample first. That's obviously the safest bet. So there we go, Initio Oud for Greatness. Was it hyped? Yes, it was. Do I understand why it was hyped? Absolutely, yes. Super wearable, great performance, smells really nice. If you've smelled this one, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for all your support. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. Nailed it. See you guys.